Fight ensued between BJP leaders in Bidar. This time it wasn't between Bhagwant Kuba and Nagamarapalli supporters. It was between Prabhu Chauhan and Raghunath Malkapuri. The duo engaged in a verbal warfare after Kuba entered the DC's office with more than 5 of the supporters to file his nomination for Lok Sabha elections. Chaos on the streets of Bidar. There over the last few days, we have seen Nagamarapalli supporters take to the streets to protest against the fact that Suryakant Nagamarapalli wasn't given a ticket by BJP. But this time around, it had nothing to do with the same. The scuffle this time around was between Prabhu Chauhan and Raghunath Malkapuri. The two of them were engaged in a verbal warfare after Bhagwant Kuba, BJP's Lok Sabha candidate from the Bidar ticket, went ahead and entered the DC's office with more than 5 of the supporters. Remember, that's a clear violation of the poll code of conduct. You are allowed to only have 5 people with you when you file your nomination. And since he went ahead with more than 5, it led to a scuffle between 2 people, Prabhu Chauhan and Raghunath Malkapuri. But Bidar witnessing quite a lot of action ahead of the elections there. Initially, of course, we saw quite a bit of drama over the selection of Bhagwant Kuba over Nagamarapalli, over Gurupadappa as well as his son. And while the BJP did try to in fact go ahead and appease the supporters, it did not work. Suryakant, of course, fielding himself as an independent candidate. But when in fact Bhagwant Kuba went ahead to file his nomination, it led to quite a bit of problems as 2 men, Prabhu Chauhan as well as Raghunath Malkapuri, went ahead and engaged in a verbal duel over the fact that they allowed more than 5 people inside. And moving on to the big news just coming in, the Supreme Court grants bail for Subrata Roy. The Supreme Court has asked Subrata Roy to pay 10,000 crore rupees as precondition for interim bail. So the apex court making sure that the Sahara chief does not go anywhere, a huge sum there. We're talking about 10,000 crore rupees to ensure that he can get interim bail. And it looks like Subrata Roy will go ahead and pay that amount. He is, of course, being jailed, being kept at the Tihar jail, has been asking for a bail for quite some time now. The Supreme Court finally conceding, but albeit a few conditions and big ones at that, one of them being that he will have to pledge 10,000 crore rupees as precondition for interim bail. This, of course, is the apex court's tactic to ensure that someone as powerful as Subrata Roy does not manage to get away from the law, does not manage to evade the law by running away. This apex court making sure that he pays a huge amount of 10,000 crore rupees. This by far has to be one of the highest amounts the apex court has asked as a precondition for interim bail. Of course, the hearing of the Sahara as its case is still on, so of course we will have to wait and see what direction that takes up. But of course we are also waiting more information with regard to how long this interim bail is. But after a long time, finally something going in the way of Subrata Roy. But is it more of a disadvantage than an advantage, considering that the apex court has asked for a huge sum as a precondition, 10,000 crore rupees, leaving Subrata Roy with absolutely no option but to fight this case legally. My colleague Harish joins us over the phone line with more information. Harish, what more can you tell us?
Well, this is a bail that has been granted to Subrata Roy from the Supreme Court, but the conditions are pretty stringent. The apex court has said that Subrata Roy will have to submit a bank guarantee of whopping 5,000 crore rupees. Perhaps this is something that hasn't been heard whenever a bail has been granted. But considering the fact that this whole issue or this whole irregularity is of such a huge proportion, roughly to the tune of 20,000 crore rupees, perhaps that's the reason that the bail has been granted after seeking a bank guarantee of 20,000 crore rupees. At the same time, the company also had proposed to pay 20,000 crore rupees to the investors within a span of 1 year. This is a OFCD to the OFCD investors. This is a plan that has been given to the court by Subrata Roy's counsel, and the court will go through the plan as well. They have assured the Supreme Court that within the next 3-4 working days, they will repay roughly around 2,500 crores, after which they will pay rest of the money in 3 installments of 3,500 crores each in June, September and December, and they will finish this entire process by the 31st of March next year. And remember, Subrata Roy was sent to the jail on 4th of March, so roughly around 25 days is spent behind bars, and now he has been granted a bail after seeking a bank guarantee of 5,000 crore rupees, Akshata.
Right, Harish, but clearly the Apex Court trying to ensure that Sahara chief Subrata Roy does not manage to get away from the law, does not manage to evade the law, considering that bank guarantee alone.
Yes, Akshita, remember, even after the court issued a non-bailable warrant and he was asked to be produced, the police had a tough time tracking him, and it was only after a long track and a long search operation that they managed to zero in on Subrata Roy and take him into custody. And that's the reason, to make sure that it acts as a deterrent, they are seeking a bank guarantee of 5,000 crore rupees, almost 25% of the whole irregularity of 20,000 crores that we are looking at it, and 25% is what is being sought as a bank guarantee, Akshita.
Right, Harish, thank you so much for joining us with all that information. But bail finally for Subrata Roy there. He will be relieved, but it will be a bittersweet feeling, considering, of course, that he has had to pledge a bank guarantee of 10,000 crore rupees, and not a small amount by any margin. And of course, Subrata Roy will have to keep his accounts in check. More than anything else, of course, Sahara will have to ensure that they complete this case, see this through the end, considering the bank guarantee that they have pledged for Subrata Roy's interim bail. But of course, the Sahara chief has been lodged in the Tihar jail for over 25 days now. Of course, Subrata Roy was taken into custody after he surrendered to the cops. He has fought for bail ever since, and the Supreme Court has come down rather hard on him in the past, refusing to go ahead and give him that bail. Remember, the Sahara had also said that they would go ahead and pay back all of the investors as soon as possible, stating that in a matter of 2 months they will go ahead and pay it off in installments. But the Supreme Court did not take that in and stated that Subrata Roy will continue to remain in the Tihar jail. But finally, conditional bail coming in from the Supreme Court there for a huge amount of 10,000 crore rupees as a bank guarantee. In fact, we have to keep in mind that Sahara owes SEBI about 20,000 crore rupees. So it's a huge amount that we're talking about. And out of that, Sahara has to submit 10,000 crore rupees to SEBI, out of which 5,000 crore rupees has to be in cash and the rest in bank guarantee. The Sahara Group submitted a fresh proposal before the Supreme Court for returning the investors' money just yesterday. It said it would pay 20,000 crore rupees by March 15th by 2015 in installments, 2,500 crore rupees in 3 working days, 3 tranches of 3,500 crore rupees each by the end of June, September, December, and 7,000 crore rupees by March 15th, 2015. The new proposal also added up to 3,000 crore rupees more than the earlier proposal. Sahara lawyers had appealed to the top court just yesterday to release Subrata Roy and 2 other directors on bail, assuring the court that they won't run away. The lawyers also said it was an illegal order that sent them to jail, and they can challenge it on the grounds of violation of fundamental rights. And the Supreme Court, holding on to the fact that the lawyers promised they won't run away, has called for a bank guarantee of 10,000 crore rupees. And let's take a quick recap of all the election stories that's doing the rounds. UPA chief Sonia Gandhi released the party poll manifesto today in the presence of various other party leaders. This time, the poll manifesto has mainly focused on issues like job creation, education and agricultural growth, welfare measures, more safety for women, stringent measures to stop price rise, right to health and various others. The party manifesto was finalized by a committee headed by A.K. Antony. This year, the Lok Sabha election slogan is "Your Voice, Our Pledge." BJP Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi today kick-started the Bharat Vijay campaign by offering prayers at the sacred Vaishno Devi shrine. This campaign will include 185 rallies across the country. Modi began the rally from Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir. Addressing a huge rally at Hiranagar in Jammu and Kashmir, Modi slammed the UPA government, saying that the government has no answer to the problems of the people. For the first time ever, Modi also took a dig at Arvind Kejriwal, calling him AK-49. In yet another blow to the UP government, the Supreme Court today rejected the appeal of the Akhilesh government of having a CID probe into the Muzaffarnagar riots. The apex court held the UP government negligent for not taking necessary steps to stop the riots. The court further said that the government could not protect the fundamental rights of the victims. Ahead of filing her nomination, Mandya MP Ramya today expressed confidence that Ambrish will campaign for her in April when he returns. She stated that she is confident Ambi will campaign for her in the Sugar district. Meanwhile, G. Parameshwar chose to sit on the fence. He said that a decision on Ambrish will be taken soon. Former Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy filed his nomination for the Chikbalapura Lok Sabha constituency today. Kumaraswamy will be contesting against Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas Veerappa Moily. Kumaraswamy stuck to the time given by astrologers and filed his nomination before the start of Rahu Kala. Congress MP Jayaprakash Hegde filed his nominations from Udupi Chikmagalur today. Hegde will be contesting against BJP's Shobha Karandlaje. Union Cabinet Minister Oscar Fernandez and Motamma were also present beside him at the time that he was filing his nomination. After Prahlad Joshi slammed Siddaramaiah for his controversial comments, former Chief Minister Jagdish Shettar today went all out to criticize Siddaramaiah. Shettar stated that if Modi was a manslaughterer because of the 2002 riots, the Chief Minister was also a murderer because of the deaths of the sugarcane farmers of Belagavi. The JDS has decided to field former Upalokayukta Chandrasekharaya as its candidate for the Mysore-Kodagu Lok Sabha constituency. Chandrasekharaya had hit the headlines in 2012 when the Karnataka High Court annulled the appointment, causing huge embarrassment to the BJP government led by D.V. Sadananda Gowda. B.N. Bachegowda filed his nomination papers from Chikbalapur today. Prior to filing his nomination, the BJP leader performed special pujas. He, along with his wife, performed the rites at the Boganandishwara temple. Cops in Chikkodi and Belgaum nabbed persons with illegal cash and liquor meant to woo voters. 21 excise department officials who were checking vehicles at a toll booth seized 2 cars, NCP pamphlets as well as 20,000 rupees in cash. In Chikkodi, cops arrested a fuel tanker driver who was transporting liquor in the tanker in a bid to distribute it to voters. After accepting the Varanasi challenge to contest against Narendra Modi, Arvind Kejriwal will be holding a roadshow in the villages of Varanasi to woo the rural voters. The roadshow will focus on Rohania and Sevapuri assembly constituencies. The UPA government is waiting and watching as to what the EC will say when it plans to announce a modest 1.25 rupees per litre reduction in petrol prices. The decision has already got the nod of the Union Cabinet, but the government is running worried as the EC stepped in and disallowed the hike in natural gas prices. In yet another blow to the Tarun Gogoi government in Assam, another one-horned rhino was killed by poachers in the Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary in the state. Assam Forest Minister Rakibul Hussain has been drawing flack for not being able to protect the endangered one-horned rhinos, and this is yet another blow for him ahead of the general elections.